Digimon is a series that spans numerous different anime and video games, and as you probably know, with a series that lasted as long as it did, there are plenty of things I find super annoying, at least in terms of the anime. The anime actually spans up 6 different seasons from Adventure to Crossroads, and yes, I'm not counting Amon just because I find it to be more of a spin-off anime. Also, no, I'm not going from season to season, I'm just listing off some random things I find annoying from different seasons. So, one minute I'm talking about Adventure, the next I'm talking about Frontier, but that's generally the whole idea I'm trying to get at. I might mention some other seasons on a topic, which I will get in a little bit later, but obviously, as of now, again, I'm just going from like whatever I find really annoying. One of the first things I find super annoying has to be the scaling of the different levels. It gets a lot more confusing when you actually take into consider the Armor and Spirit Digimon, and the first example I'm going to give is, or like the only example I can think of, is going to be from the first episode of Frontier. Here you have a Gunimon taking down a Soberomon, which is fine, but then you look at the levels and that's where it gets confusing. A Gunimon is classified as a human spirit, which generally has about champion level strength, and Soberomon is a ultimate level Digimon. You can think that Soberomon was just tired from blowing up the station, but to me it didn't really seem that way. The only factor I can think of is how vaccine Digimon are stronger than the virus is, but even then a Gunimon isn't really considered one. I have no real idea because the wiki doesn't exactly say what he's classified under, and because it says like he may be like a free or he might be a vaccine, so it's not really clear. Another thing that confuses me is how they was shown to struggle against beast type or beast spirit Digimon in the future. It makes me wonder the strength difference between them. If Gunimon can take down an Ultimate in the first episode, but then not take down a beast spirit, then maybe like there had been other factors, but even then I'm not exactly sure just because it's not explained all too well. And I know you could probably just chalk it up to like the writers wanting to write a situation, but it's like, at the same time, it's like, well, if they can't really, like, if you have the internal logic of the show, say, it's a champion versus an ultimate, most of the time the ultimate would win, and honestly, it just doesn't really like connect to me all that well. Something else that really confuses me is what is classified as a new Shoutmon form. I'll start off with Shoutmon times 3, which makes sense because it's Shoutmon, Dualmon, and Ballistamon. Then we go into Shoutmon times 4, which is just a sword, and it's not really much of a difference. But then we actually go into times 4B, which is, Shoutmon times 4, but with Beelzemon, which, it's not classified as a new form, but it's classified as like a side form to a 4. Then we have times 5, and that's where things just get confusing because, it doesn't really change his appearance all that much, and it literally just gives him jetpacks. But again, something else that confuses me is the fact that Beelzemon is a part of Taiki's team, but though for times 5, it's not like part of his team because like Sparrowmon is not a part of Taiki's team because it's obviously belongs to Nene or whatever her name was. I can't remember her name on the top of my head, but still, that's what confuses me is that what's a new form and what isn't, because you have one form that just adds a jetpack while you have another form that basically changes how he moves around, and you have another form that just gives him jetpacks. That part just super confuses me, and I don't know where they draw the line in a new form. The next thing I find really annoying was a concept that was shown off in the first season, and that was vaccine Digimon being viruses a lot either. And this was really used with Angemon just because, he is one of the holy Digimon in the show, like one of the more traditional holy Digimon. And I think it was shown with Angemon a little bit, but, again, I don't remember if it was. I just remember being a key factor with Angemon and his evolutions. And I know that it's clear that, he is a vaccine Digimon, but what doesn't make any sense to me is that a lot of the other main characters have vaccine Digimon. If you look under what they classify as, say, Agumon or Greymon, it's a vaccine Digimon, and some of the other ones also classify them, so it's like, why don't they have an advantage? Is it just the fact that Angemon is an angel, so obviously angel Digimon would be better than, say, a devil or something like that? Like, that's the only thing I can connect to, but other than that, I don't really have much explanations for it. The last thing I want to go over is how the main cast of Frontier managed to control their beast spirits and their fusion spirits for Takuya and Koji so quickly. Takuya's arc was actually really nice, but after he got used to it after his second fight with it, he just never struggled with it again. Even when he got his Mega Evolution and beyond, he just managed to control it pretty easily. I would assume that they would have at least controlled that after the first couple of fights just because they are controlling really giant and powerful Digimon. But no, it's just, like they have one fight and then boom, now we're perfectly okay. For example, I think Boiling Greymon is said to have immeasurable unknown energy, and it has the ability to snuff out flames with super fast explosive blazes. And I think a Digimon like this shouldn't really be controlled by a human so easily just because of how powerful that really sounds. And I feel like, if Frontier did kind of stick with the partner Digimon and human combo, it would have been, this part wouldn't have came up. But even then, since they went with this, I'm just kind of sad that like they didn't do more with this, and maybe because in the case of Frontier, the human characters get beat up a lot, so I would assume that it would be hard for them to like actually control their Digimon. But obviously, it never really goes over that. They just perfectly go through it as everything's really fine. But in reality, most of the cases they get beat up and now they just shrug it off and move on, right? And then those are the things that I can think of, at least right now, that really confused me in the Digimon anime. So, and honestly, I think that if Toei just explained a little bit more, if they thought out a little bit better, a lot of these problems could just be fixed. And obviously, I don't know how I would fix them, but obviously, in some cases, like with see the leveling scaling, maybe they can just scale it some fights down and have actual reasoning to why they lost, because I feel in most cases they don't have that. And honestly, that's all I really have to say on the topic. If you guys actually have any things that you were confused about in Digimon, you can actually go over and type it in the comments, and maybe if I have enough of them, I'll actually put in the next video if I make a video like this later on. But thank you guys for watching, and see you guys later.